Have you ever just looked around and wondered why so many good, kind people get treated so badly? Well, the tough answer? It's often because they let it happen. See, there are 5 specific behaviors that can quietly wreck your life. And most of us, well, we just accept them every single day. Today, we're going to put a name to them and we're going to learn how to stop them. For good.
Man, this used to be my life's motto. For years, I let people I really cared about treat me like I was nothing. They'd lie, they'd ignore me, they'd make me feel so small. And you know what I did? I just took it. I honestly thought that being a good person meant I had to absorb all that hurt, forgive them a million times, and just stay quiet. And wow, was I ever wrong.
And then, something just clicked. I learned these 5 simple rules, 5 behaviors I decided, right then and there, I would never accept again, from anyone. And the change was, it was instant. It was dramatic. My whole life started to get better. People actually started respecting me. And the weirdest part? The wrong people, they just kind of faded away. And the right people, they stuck around.
Okay, let's get into this because this is so important. Setting boundaries, having rules, that doesn't make you a mean person. It doesn't make you unkind. You can be a genuinely good, loving person and still say, nope, not okay. You could be nice and still have rules. The people who treat you badly, they only have that power because you're giving it to them.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to start by uncovering those really subtle forms of disrespect, then we'll look at the seriously high price you pay for letting them slide. We're going to identify the ultimate red line that no one should ever cross, and finally, we'll map out the path to getting the respect you absolutely deserve. Let's do this.
Let's start with the sneaky ones, right? These are the behaviors that are kind of disguised. They're the ones that mess with your head and make you wonder, wait, am I the one who's wrong here?
Disrespect number 1 is lies. And it doesn't matter if it's a big lie or a little white lie. When someone lies to you, what they're really saying is, you are not important enough for the truth. You don't matter. And every single time you let a lie slide, every time you pretend you didn't see it, you're pretty much nodding and agreeing with them.
So, what's the rule? The second you catch a lie, you say something. Not angry, not yelling, just calm and clear. A simple, that's not true. And here's the magic part. Watch what happens next. A good person will be embarrassed and apologize. A bad person, they'll get defensive, angry, or maybe even try to lie some more. And just like that, you know exactly who you're dealing with.
All right, moving on to disrespect number 2, the disguised insult. Oh, this one is so toxic because it comes wrapped up like a joke or as helpful advice. It's those classic lines, right? Oh, you're just too sensitive. Or my favorite, I'm just being honest, right after they say something awful.
I call these poison words. Their only goal is to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe that you are the problem. But what's really going on? That person is trying to feel big by making you feel small. It's a power trip, pure and simple.
Look, the rule here couldn't be simpler, and it's not up for debate. If someone consistently makes you feel bad for just being you, for being happy, for sharing your success, for having feelings, they just don't belong in your life. It really is that straightforward.
Okay, next up is a type of disrespect that's all about theft. But we're not talking about your money. We're talking about your 2 most precious resources, the 2 things you can never, ever get back, your time and your energy.
Seriously, just take a second and think about it. How many hours of your actual life have you just thrown away waiting for someone who doesn't care if you wait? Or rearranging your entire schedule for somebody who would never, ever do the same for you? Time is the one thing you can't make more of. When someone wastes it, they are stealing from you. Plain and simple.
And that brings us to disrespect number 3, wasting your time. This is the person who's always late, who cancels on you at the last minute, who makes promises they have no intention of keeping. So your new rule is super simple. 1 chance, that's it. The first time it happens, you tell them, hey, my time is important. If you can't respect that, we can't make plans. If they do it a second time, you're done. You walk.
Which leads us right into number 4, the energy thief. The one-way relationship. You know this one. You're the one who's always calling, always listening, always helping out. But the moment you need a shoulder to cry on, they're suddenly so busy. When you need help, they just vanish. This kind of relationship will suck you dry.
So how can you know for sure if you're in one? Well, here's the test. Just stop. For a little while. Stop being the first one to call. Stop making the plans. Stop offering your help. And then just watch what happens. If they reach out, worried, asking if you're okay, they care. But if they just disappear from your life, well, you have your answer. They never really cared in the first place. Trust me, this little test can save you years of pain.
And now we get to the big one. The fifth, and honestly the most dangerous type of disrespect. Why? Because this one isn't an accident. It's a deliberate choice to show you that your rules, your comfort, and your safety mean absolutely nothing to them.
So what's a boundary? It's just a rule you make to keep yourself safe and sane. Please don't yell at me, or please don't just show up at my house unannounced. But you have to get this next part. If you set a boundary and then do nothing when someone stomps all over it, it's not a boundary. It's just a wish. It's meaningless.
So here it is. The only rule that actually works. The one warning rule. It's a simple 3-step process. 1, you state your boundary clearly. No hints. 2, the very first time they cross it, you give them one and only one firm warning. You say, I've asked you not to do this. If it happens again, we're done. And finally, step 3, if they do it again, you walk. That's it. No more talking, no second chances, 0 exceptions.
And here's the thing. This one little rule reveals everything you need to know about a person. The people who genuinely love you and respect you will hear your rule and say, okay, I get it. The people who don't, they'll fight you on it. They'll tell you you're being ridiculous. And that tells you everything.
So, after all that, we finally get to the path to respect. And it all comes down to one fundamental core belief you have to adopt.
This right here. This is the whole thing. I want you to really let this sink in. Your peace of mind matters more than their feelings about your boundaries. Choosing your own well-being, your own mental health, your own safety, that is not selfish. It is necessary.
And listen to me on this one, because this can change your life. You do not owe anyone an explanation for protecting yourself. You don't need their permission to set a boundary, and you absolutely, 100% do not need to justify your decision to walk away from people who consistently hurt you.
I used to put up with all 5 of these things every single day, and I was just miserable. The moment I learned to say no, to actually protect myself, everything changed. So I'm just going to leave you with this last question to think about. The people who truly love you will respect your rules. So who in your life is fighting yours?